Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I do my perm rod sets. If you haven't seen my last video, please check it out. I'll leave it up in the iCards up above. I'm not sure what side it's going to be on. But I did use the Redken Acidic Concentrate bonding system, which is a shampoo, a conditioner, and a leave-in treatment. And after that, while I was still in the shower, I went ahead and added my Ouai curl cream. And I just applied it in the shower like I typically do any leave-in or cream styler that I'll be using for that day. And basically this curl cream, it's silicone free, defines curls, tames frizz, and adds shine to all curl types. Key ingredients are linseed, chia seed. They shape the curl while maintaining the hair's natural texture and protects it from humidity. Includes coconut oil and babassu oil to soften the curls, seal damaged cuticles, and enhance shine. It does come in 2 scents, the North Bondi fragrance with notes of bergamot and lemon, which I have, and it does smell divine. But if you don't like that, it also comes in an unscented version. It does come in an 8-ounce tube, and it does retail for about $32. It is a little on the expensive side, but it works. It's got really good ingredients that it's made out of, so it is something that you could use kind of for those special occasions. So what I'm gonna do so that I can keep a little bit of length without having to do a ton of manipulation during the takedown process is I'm going to braid at the roots just a little bit, not a lot, but just enough to let those roots be kind of stretched out. And then I'm just gonna comb, make sure this is nice and detangled, smooth down. I won't be adding any gel or anything this time around. And I'm going to take my perm rod. I'll be using white in the back, and then I'll probably use my gray as I get closer to the front and run out of white ones. So I'm going to start by applying the hair down on the end here with our fastener, whatever you want to call it. But I'm going to start by tucking my ends really well. Smooth that down. Hold the hair nice and taut, and as I'm holding it taut, sometimes it slips. As I'm holding it taut, I'm gonna slowly rotate or carefully rotate and take the hair up, trying not to overlap. As you can see, I've got it pretty close, but I don't want it to overlap. You can see the white perm rod sticking out a little bit there, and just gonna fasten it there. So not overlapping it is number one, gonna keep the hair from taking too long to dry. And then second, letting it set like this allows you to have a little bit more length versus if you roll it on top of each other, it's gonna be really shrunken. And then you're gonna have to do a lot of like manipulation and picking and things like that to help get some of that length back. So between the little bit of braiding at the root and then how I apply the perm rod, it's going to help me keep a good amount of length for this style without doing a ton of manipulation, which is going to cut down on breakage. So I'm just going to go through throughout all 4 sections and do this. I'm going to try to keep the sections about the same size if I can, which is going to be, I guess, like a medium size section. Nothing too big, nothing too small. So again, you just want to start by detangling, combing it out. You want this to be as free of any tangles or knots as you can, nice and smooth. Again, just going to braid a few times at the root. Detangle one more time. Smooth it out. Carefully smooth, wrap, and tuck those ends. Holding the hair taut, rotating the rod, and taking the hair up. Careful not to overlap too much. And secure it in place. All right, so I'm just gonna keep going throughout the rest of my hair, and I'll come back up at the front and show you a little bit closer. All right, so I'm down to the last two sections, and again, we're just gonna braid at the root to keep some of that stretch. And then another good thing about that too is it's not as much tension on your scalp, because if you have any experience with perm rods, you know, if you roll these all the way up to your scalp, it is pretty tight and it can be very uncomfortable to sleep in. So not only is it going to help you keep a little bit of the length by the time you get ready to take down, but it's also going to provide less tension on the scalp, and it's going to make it a lot more comfortable to sleep in. So I'm gonna go ahead and install this last braid and perm rod here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use my bonnet attachment for my handheld dryer, and I'm just gonna run that for about maybe like 15 or 20 minutes just to kind of set the style in place, and then I will air dry the rest of the way. Not worried about drying it all the way right now under the dryer because it's still early. It's 2:30 p.m. right now, so I won't be taking this out until tomorrow morning. So if I go ahead and my hair's not soaking wet, it's just wet, or it's kind of like in between damp and wet. So just gonna hit it with a little heat at first here for, like I said, about 15 or 20 minutes, and then I will let it air dry the rest of the way. All right, y'all, so it is the next morning. I've taken out all my rods, and this is what we are working with. So I'm just going to take some of this Ouai Naturals Lemongrass Sleek and Shine finishing oil to kind of coat my hands a little bit before I take my hair down, to kind of keep the frizz at bay as much as possible. And I'm also going to go ahead and clip my hair up in sections to make it a little bit more organized, and to attempt not to miss any, because it is inevitable anytime I do my hair like this, any twists, any braids, anything like that, I always leave something out. So just gonna start in the back like always, and just gonna take my time, get up there by that braid and see where it's wanting to separate, and kind of undo that very gently. And these are the curls we have, 3 pretty little curls. And what I think I'm gonna do is go ahead and just separate them in the 3 sections, and then I'll decide after I take out this whole section if I want to separate any further, because I want to try to make this last as long as I can, so I don't want to take and separate it too much. All right, so I went ahead and separated everything, and then some of the bigger curls, I did separate them a little bit more, but I decided to stop right here. I basically just tried to pick at the roots a little bit just to hide some of those parts. But I want to see how long I can make this last. So I'm gonna leave it like this for today. And then I'll maybe throw in some clips of like how I keep it at night, and then when I go back later on in the week to try to separate it a little bit more. But right now, the curls are still pretty much perfectly intact, like no frizz at all. I did get a little bit on my ends, but I was able to just kind of twirl it around my finger and fix that. So color looks really good. Like, I wish you could see it in person. It looks so much better. But anyways, so yeah, I'll come back and kind of show you how I make it bigger over the week. All right, y'all, so it is the next morning. Just gonna go ahead and take off my bonnet. I didn't do anything special underneath. I just threw that on. This is what my hair is looking like. Still looking pretty good. I'm gonna take some more of the Allicate Naturals oil, spray my hands down. Again, just want to keep the friction down to eliminate as much frizz as possible. Okay, so here I am just separating my hair into 4 sections. I usually always like to style my hair using 4 sections. And within each of those quadrants, I'm just going to take my time and separate these curls, being gentle to eliminate as much frizz as possible. All right, so I'm almost done here. And I would just say, like, my biggest tips as far as separating go is number 1, oil your hands so that you're not creating a ton of friction and unnecessary frizz. As the days go by, it will get frizzy and big on its own, so try not to manipulate it too much right out the gate if you're looking for longevity. If you want just big hair on day 1, then have at it, but just know that by sacrificing some of that definition and stuff like that for volume, you are lessening how long your hair is gonna last. But yeah, so just be mindful of that. Take your time, be patient. Having like an end goal at the beginning of how big you want your hair, so you know how much to separate it. And the more you do these types of styles, the better you'll learn how much you can separate to get that desired look. It is kind of like a finding that sweet spot type of thing. So just taking your time and detangling when you get ready to install will help a lot, especially when it comes to the ends. Like you just saw on that last one, it did take me, I had to take a couple seconds to like kind of slow down and really see where it was going to separate, make sure I'm not pulling too rough. And if I get to a part that I can't just kind of pull apart, I'll take my time and work it. And then as you'll see, it did get a little frizzy there. And you're just gonna take and wrap it around your finger, and it will curl right back up like it's supposed to. And that is pretty much it. After I finish the last couple curls, I'm just going to go through and pick it just a little bit, only at the roots. You don't want to take it all the way through the curl, because again, that's going to lessen the longevity of the style. And I'm just going to go in with my pick and very gently and lightly. I typically like to kind of hold it towards the ends and pick up like that. Especially on the first day that I'm picking it out. Usually after that, I really don't pay it any mind. Just to make sure that I'm not getting too close to the ends of the curls. And I just kind of pick it out until I get my desired shape and the amount of volume that I want. And they're super tight right now. But like I said, I'm going for longevity, so like the longer that I go without really stretching it and picking it, the better it's gonna last. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop about right there. Use my fingers a little bit to work it out. Make sure I pull in front of my face to frame like I want it. And if you want even more length, what you can do is you can take a blow dryer and get the roots. I will probably either do that tomorrow, which would be day 3, or the next day, Thursday, which will be day 4. So this is what I am working with. Let's see the back. Everything is still really defined. And then what I'll probably do to sleep tonight is I will band it using these hair ties and probably put them in like 4 pigtails. And then in the morning, I'll go through with my pick and hide those parts, and we'll see how it's looking. I might pull out the blow dryer, we'll see. But this is what it's looking like. So just a little bit fuller and a little bit bigger than it was yesterday. But like I said, just going along with the progression. So here it is day 4 of this hairstyle, and I did sleep with the night prior with my hair in 4 sections, like 4 little pineapples. So I'm just going through and taking my blow dryer, which is on medium heat, I believe, and maybe medium or high speed, and just concentrating that heat right at my roots. I am holding on to the ends of the different sections I'm working with at the time. Towards the end to keep those curls intact, holding it just a little bit taut to allow for the stretch that I want. Then I basically just fluffed and picked, rearranged a couple of curls until I got the volume and the look that I was going for. And then at night, I just simply slept again with those kind of 4 sections, those 4 pineapples, with my bonnet on top or on my silk pillowcase. All right, y'all, so that is the end of this video. I hope you learned something. I hope you liked it. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment, and share it with your friends. And leave me some comments down below and let me know what other hairstyles you want me to try, if there's any products that you want me to try or that you would suggest. Just leave me some of your video ideas down below and I will try to incorporate them. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.